Hey there YouTube, welcome back to Cliff Jumper Cars. I'm Brendan, aka Cliff Jumper. We are going to turn our attention to a small but annoying problem. If you have a first generation Toyota Sequoia, you may have run into this issue where this very fancy wing they stick on it gets loose. And as you're driving down the road, you hear this rattling inside the car, which is very loud inside the car because the rest of the car is pretty quiet unless you've modified your exhaust, which I have not. I've left this alone. It's my wife's very pretty dainty car, and so we're leaving it in factory condition for the most part, other than the stereo upgrade that we did a few weeks ago. Anyway, today we are going to get into how to fix this so it doesn't rattle and annoy you to death. So hopefully it'll be a quick fix. I have found zero information out there on the internets about this, other than people complaining about it, but nobody's actually posted how to fix it. So I'm hoping that there's just a couple of bolts going through at the top that we'll be able to tighten up, put some thread locker on it, and call it a day. Let's see how it goes. So just a first look here, it looks like there's rubber plugs that pop out right there, and oh wow, let me see if I can get you in here to see this, but it looks like this is going to be a fairly straightforward 10-minute fix, maybe. Alright, let's see if it will focus in there. Anyway, focus. This little bolt is, like, obviously loose. Oh yeah, hear that? That's crazy loose. And let's look at the other one. So there's one on the other side here. Where do we have it? There it is. And sure enough, it's missing the whole nut, which is probably the thing that's rattling around inside my hatch and making a bunch of noise. I'm guessing there's probably another bolt up inside here, so let's pull this real quick and see what we find, because I don't want to do part of the work and then find out that there was more that needed to be done. So just one of these trim remover tools, pop that out of the way. That looks suspicious, like there might be another bolt or something hiding under there. So let's just pop that out, and oh, sure enough, there is another bolt up inside there, and it's also missing its nut. So this side's completely unattached. And then turning my attention to the one on the other side, this one, let's take a peek and see how it's doing here. So just remove the trim piece. Alright, the nut is in place there. Alright, so we got one one nut completely, two missing, one loose, one attached. That's our issue here. So we're gonna go ahead and we'll just tighten those up. I'll replace that one that's missing, so it means I need to remove one to make sure I can size it up, and that should be a pretty easy fix. 10mm bolt. I'm gonna just pull this one. And there we can see, focus in here, 10mm bolt with a big shoulder. I can probably just get a 10mm with a washer and it'll do just fine. So let me see if I can source one of these in my parts stockpile and be able to replace the missing ones that are up there.
5 minutes later.
I found another one. So I did have it in my hoard of stockpiled parts, so we can go ahead and put it into the place of the missing bolt. And I found the other bolt that had fallen out of one of those holes, so we now have all four. All right, look. It's tight. So that turned out to be one of the quickest fixes of any project that we have done yet on this channel. I think, you know, a total invested time of less than 5 minutes for sure. So if you do have a first generation Toyota Sequoia and you've got that fancy wing on the back and it's rattling and driving you nuts, two things to know. The little rubber plugs are, two of them are accessible without removing anything else. The other two are hidden underneath that trim panel, and you'll have to use a small pry tool to get them up without breaking them. I would recommend not using a screwdriver, but one of those plastic trim remover tools, and that'll help you out with it. The other thing is, if, like on mine, the 10mm nuts that hold the wing in place have fallen off, they've probably worked their way all the way down in the hatch to the bottom, and they're probably rattling around down there. That's where I found mine. And a little bit of thread locker on them to make sure that they don't work themselves loose. Again, especially if you ever do any off-roading, which we've done in ours, so that definitely all that vibration doesn't help. But putting those nuts back on, tightening them down, and a little thread locker, all good. So I hope this helped you out, and thank you for tuning in to another episode of Cliff Jumper Cars. Please make sure that you hit that like button, subscribe, hit the notification bell so you know when our next video comes out. We usually do one a week, but you know, there are some more videos that are coming out very soon. We've been working hard on our California Car Stories series, and I'm looking forward to premiering those. Got lots of fun stories about the car culture scene here in Southern California that we want to share about. So tune in, make sure you check us out, and if you have found these videos even mildly entertaining, please share them. It really helps us out. And also, if you'd like to support the channel, you can do so on Patreon. If you think, yeah, I'm worth buying a cup of coffee for, just head on over there. Really appreciate it. Every little bit helps. God bless. See you soon.
And on that terrible disappointment, it's time to say goodbye. We'll be back.